let's try this thing again. What's going on to you Virgos out there? So you have the unalive card, right? The King of Wands, and you have the Five of Swords. So, okay, so for you Virgos, right? Whenever it is that I get the unalive card, right? Scorpio unalive card. This is about how you Virgos are going through a very powerful transformation right now. One that is most definitely changing your life, change that you didn't necessarily anticipate coming. Maybe you did, but it's something that actually needed to have happened for a very long time. Whenever it is that I get the death card or the unalive card or whatever the case is, right? Whatever you want to call it, um, it represents a big change and something that has to be done in order for you to continue. In order for you to grow, there has to be a huge monumental change. So whenever it is that I get the unalive card, that's what that means. That's what's going on for you Virgos. And then you have the King of Wands. The King of Wands represents you Virgos basically learning how to be you learning how to essentially oppose your environment. This is much more about how you Virgos are looking at your own environment, and you're looking at it like, okay, are you going to actually bless these people with your presence, right? Are you going to be there in location? Who, like, it represents you being the judge of the people that you choose to hang around. So if you Virgos decide that you're not going to want to hang around anyone in particular, I just see that a lot of you Virgos are really doing things and saying things that are really coming true to you that other people may like. They may not like it, but they have to respect it. And you're doing what's best for you. And if they don't like it, then it is what it is for them. They can't really do anything about it. So there's definitely a sense of, that's one of the things that has changed about you Virgos. Um, if you do not have to work with somebody that you don't agree with, that you don't share values with, then a lot of you Virgos will not work with them. Same thing when it comes to a social life. Same thing when it comes to family, friends, romance. If a person isn't romantically interested in you, then why are they hanging around you? Why are they hanging around you? Why are they talking to you? Why are they even wasting their time, even trying to call themselves getting something from you, even in the first place, right? Like, if their time is so precious, then why can't they seem to get what it is that they want from someone that they want? Why is it that they're talking to you, but then they're telling you about what they're not going to do, right? Frustrating you, getting you upset because there's no real reason why they should be telling you no. They're telling you no because of some made up nonsense, or some delusion of grandeur, or whatever, fabricated story that they're making up in their own delusion, right? About how you Virgos should be lesser than them, and how they're supposed to be greater than you. So the Five of Swords represents, that's another thing that has changed because of the fact that you Virgos have decided to change gears, switch gears, start doing things a completely different way. You Virgos are acting like Scorpios in the sense of the things that you are doing are a lot more covert, hidden, uh, not seen, more secretive, and just letting people who want to waste time and be delusional, just allowing them to do their own thing away from you. Away from you, because you Virgos would, again, y'all are in the ghost nation, so a lot of y'all don't, that's part of the reason why y'all are unofficial members in the first place. It's because of the dysfunction, you know How much can a person tell you that they don't want you to be around? How much confusion and delusion can a person take? You know, you're trying to do the right thing by some people. Here they are being delusional. They're being stupid. They want to create these false narratives in their head about you. So it comes to a point, it comes to a boiling point where it's like, okay, you Virgos are you Virgos have to, and you are leaving people in the room with whomever it is that they want to be in the room with, or by themselves, or whomever they want to hang out with. You know, let's hear what kind of complaints they have to make up about you when you're not in the room. So the Five of Swords speaks to one of the changes that you're making is you're kind of rejecting other people. It's not about them rejecting you per se. It's more so about you're rejecting other people. It's like you Virgos are okay being loners right now. Y'all are good with it. Y'all are cool with that. As I ain't even gonna get into that. But you bull with it. You know what I mean? You bull with it. You cool with it. People who know what I'm talking about gonna know what I'm talking about. But the point is that because of that, that's kind of created a lot of intrigue, because now it's like, okay, well, the way that you have changed certain things around, a lot of people don't necessarily see that coming. Because again, whatever delusion they had up in their head about Virgos, so they don't really see that part of you Virgos being capable of that, where it's like you don't need them to exist. You don't. That's just the fabrication of their imagination. But they insist on trying to play it off like you Virgos do need them, or they insist on not being able to say that they want you to be around, they miss you, they're interested in you, right? That's going to be a big point of denial that a lot of people have. If you Virgos have, military helicopter, but if you Virgos have romantically piqued the interest of another person, that's going to be a big point of contention for others. It's them having to admit to themselves that they're interested. The reason why I'm saying that, to piggyback off of the Five of Swords, is because of the Three of Swords. The fact that you Virgos decided, you know what, Ghost Nation, enough talking, enough having people get on your nerves. Every time you have to be the villain of the story, you're going to leave. And the Three of Swords now is, well, the Five of Swords now is they miss you, but they don't want to admit that they kind of like you, right? This goes for some people that you Virgos were trying to get to know prior that was giving you a hard time. Because honestly, you Virgos probably have been ghost nationing, staying by yourselves for about a month and a half now. So the Three of Swords now represents how you Virgos not being around is breaking their heart, because they like you, but they don't want to admit that to themselves. But they're going to have to if they want you to be around. That's the thing that they're going to have a hard time admitting. So the Ten of Swords now represents, again, that ego. They don't want to admit that. The Ten of Swords is every bit as uncomfortable as if it's uncomfortable for them. I can't say the expression, but it's uncomfortable to them. It's their sense of worth is inflated. They don't want to admit that they like you Virgos. They don't want to admit that they want you to be around, because remember, Virgo, you got the Six of Cups a couple of times. Again, you staying by yourselves, staying quiet and just not letting people know what's going on with you. And you haven't been in a lot of communication with people who normally see you around. So what it is, you know, if they have your number and they want to know, if they have your number and they want to reach out to you and all of that, um, they have your number and they want to reach out to you and all that, then they better go ahead and actually speak. They better go ahead and actually speak up about that. That's my cat playing with. So the Temperance now represents how a lot of you Virgos, keep that there. Keep that there. A lot of you Virgos are a lot of you Virgos are a lot wiser, because let me move this away from you, y'all. Let me move all this away from you. But anyway, the Temperance right here is about how so a lot of you again, a lot of you Virgos are like, okay, your own experiences and time has taught you that they only say whatever it is that you want them to say to you, or you would like for them to say to you when you're not around, when you're not being of service to them, only long enough for them to actually lure you back, for them to start acting the same way that they did before you decided to leave, right? So the Temperance is about, okay, you know, some people could be reaching out to you, but there's a sense of you Virgos being like, okay, you've been here before. You know what this looks like. Whenever it is that they feel like they're not getting enough attention, because you know attention is like the world's currency now. You know, you got a lot of people jumping online saying and doing the stupidest things for attention, thinking that all this amount of attention is always a good thing. But the Two of Pentacles and the Justice is about how everybody is getting what they deserve, though. It's not like you Virgos are being unfair to people. Everybody is getting what it is that they deserve. The Two of Pentacles. All it is that you Virgos wanted was, again, the justice, fairness. And they couldn't give that to you. Everything has to be some sort of stupid advantage, right? You either need to have the advantage over them and keep the advantage and keep dangling some sort of advantage that a person needs in order to survive, whatever else, over their head. Otherwise, they're going to start acting crazy and goofy, and they're going to start doing a bunch of goofy stuff to you, right? And a lot of you Virgos are just done with that interaction. You know, how dysfunctional and how toxic is that? If you don't have some sort of dirt dangling over somebody's head, or keep somebody owing you something, they're gonna act like they don't have any common sense, because that's the nature of some people. That's absolutely corrupt. And it goes to show you the value systems that people get caught up in. That ain't a good look. Because what it says is, a lot of people putting on the front, and that the only time that they do good is when they on the spotlight, or when they have something to lose. They don't be doing good because they understand it's an advantage to it. You feel what I'm saying? To being upright, not even realizing now, right, that in the book, and I'm not even caught up in that, but in the book it says that the source rewards all the ones who are good. So it's like common sense would tell you, even from a logical common sense perspective, it would tell you, why don't you just skip all the nonsensical BS and just be good as much as you possibly can? And yet you still have people who have this warped, corrupt mentality. So it kind of goes to show you how kind of slow they really are. It's like, what are you doing knowing good and well that good is always going to triumph over not good, right? So I'm saying all that to say that everyone is getting what it is that they deserve. It's fair. Everybody, so I ain't gonna say everybody, but so many people was acting like you Virgos were the problem, and you Virgos just exited the room. Like, okay, since you seem to have so much of a problem, why don't I just leave the room and leave you by yourself and let you just do your own thing? And that's where the catch-22 is for them, because the Page of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, those people never thought, whoever it is that you stopped talking to, that you essentially tapered out of your life, you started seeing them less and less, you ghosted them, they never expected you Virgos to actually leave in the first place. And like I said, it's that mystery of, well, what exactly are you Virgos doing? And not a lot of people know, you see. So this is one of the powers that Virgos represent. Virgos, just like Scorpio, because Virgo and Scorpio used to share a zodiac sign, Virgo represents hidden knowledge. It represents understanding how the world works, but it also represents hidden knowledge, right? The things that other people may not necessarily know, that they don't even necessarily take the time to think about. But what gives you the advantage as well is you have the curiosity to actually go find out and go figure out how the world works. Go find out, the hidden knowledge to how the world works and what happens to it and what goes on, right? Without necessarily talking about it as well, right? That's why Virgos can be low-key. Virgos can, a lot of people don't know that I'm retired. This is the first time that I've said that widely. I'm retired. I don't need to do this YouTube thing anymore, right? I'm retired at 32. And the reason why is because I've set myself up for success. But again, I'm never going back to try to, I'm not doing that. If I decide to move to Brazil or Cambodia or wherever, I've been talking to some people in Malaysia and stuff like this, in Indonesia. If I decide to move, people not even gonna know when I move. You're just gonna see me in a totally different environment. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Eight of Pentacles. King of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Knight of Pentacles, and then you have the Sun card. So the King of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles speaks to how, yet again, you Virgos continue. This right here is a confirmation. To clarify the Eight of Pentacles, right? The Eight of Pentacles is about how your life is much better without others getting on your nerves, stressing you out every day. You know what I mean? Trying to get on your nerves every day. Making it a point to be stupid around you, acting like they don't have any kind of common sense. The King of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles really is about you Virgos having that kind of concentration. There's a sense of you Virgos, even though things are going well, you're going to continue doing well for yourself, and you're going to continue to stay focused. Some of you Virgos may have significant others on the low, and you're just not bringing them around, your friends or your family, because you know that there's a chance that those people are going to try to intentionally mess certain things up, right? I am not part of that where I got somebody on the low. I'm just making business decisions behind the scenes. But regardless of to who or what, the Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles, right, speaks to how, again, the curiosity that other people have for you, that like you romantically, but think of themselves as too great. There's a sense of you Virgos, you're going to be quiet. It's just that again, the more you do you is the more that they're not going to be able to do them. You Virgos have a lot of people, friends, family, romantic interests that never told you yes, that should have said yes to you in particular, very much so preoccupied about what you're doing. And the Sun card now represents how um, don't be surprised if friends and family ask you what you've been up to, what you've been doing. Don't be surprised if they're trying to get all up in your business. Same thing with romantic interest, right? If you Virgos have no romantic interest, where you're not actually talking to anybody romantically, you're just doing your thing. That's what I'm talking about. The people that have liked you, kept it a secret, they're around. But again, pride is too big. That ego is too large. They have too much of an inflated self-worth for them to actually be able to admit to you that they're interested in you right now. So who cares about them, honestly? They really missing out. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website where there's ways to get a personal reading from me, birth chart reading, as well as the books that I have that are on Amazon.